and it's my absolute pleasure to welcome you all to this enlightening webinar titled Unveiling Prints from Patterns to Persistence. Before we dive into today's fascinating session, let me take a moment to introduce our esteemed speaker, someone who truly embodies excellence in the field of forensic science. We are honored to have with us Ms. Anu Huda Ma'am, Assistant Professor in the Department of Forensic Science at Vivekananda Global University. Ma'am is a distinguished academic and an accomplished professional, having secured the prestigious gold medal in her MSc Forensic Science, a testament to her dedication and brilliance. Her contributions to the field are not only academic but also innovative. With an impressive portfolio that includes 2 patents, 7 copyrights, and 3 research publications, ma'am brings with her valuable hands-on experience from her time to State Forensic Science Laboratory, Jaipur, where she worked in the DNA division, gaining real-world insights into forensic investigations. Her dedication to the education and research continues to inspire budding forensic experts. Today, she'll guide us through the integrate world of fingerprints analysis, shedding light on the pattern recognition, persistence of prints over time, and their virtue of attractive listeners and participants, taking them up during the question and answer round. So, without further ado, let's extend our warm virtual welcome to ma'am. We are truly honored to have you with us, ma'am.
Good evening, everyone, and thank you so much, Prachi, for the warm introduction. Actually, I'm so much excited for the session, and I want this session is more interactive and interesting. So please don't make this session is only one-sided communication. So please, if there's any question, then please send it to me. Okay, I will start by sharing a PPT. Hold on. Is it visible to you?
Yes, ma'am.
Is there anyone who know about the fingerprints? Please give me an answer. You can put it also in chat box.
Ma'am, the font is so much small.
Okay, I will increase it. Wait. Is it okay now?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Gauri, you're so close to it. Unique characteristics of a person, you are right.
Two individuals can't have same fingerprints, not even twins.
Good. Okay. Now, let me explain to you. Fingerprints are the unique patterns basically. Okay, they develop during the fetal development, and we can say that specifically between 3 to 6 months of the pregnancy, and they remain unchanged throughout the life. So the patterns are not inherited directly, but we can say then influenced by both genetic or the environmental factors. Here, the environmental factor I'm talking about, not about the external factors. It's all about the womb. When the fetus in a womb, then it is also affected by the environment also due to the fluid pressure, blood pressure, and the proteins that consumed by it. Okay, and the study, exactly, and the study of the fingerprint is called the dactyloscopy. Dactyloscopy is basically is a Greek term which means the identification of individuals by means of examination of the lines on the tips of the fingers. Basically, a study of the fingerprints that will help us to individualize any person or to identify the identification of a person. Then now why fingerprints are used for the identifications purpose? Is there anyone who can answer it?
Ma'am, as two individuals can't have the same fingerprint.
Okay, any other thing? Why we use the fingerprints? Why we not use the DNA?
मैम फिंगरप्रिंट
In most of the investigation cases,
इजीली अवेलेबल
in
हो
most of the
जाते हैं.
investigation
One by
cases,
one, please.
fingerprints are left on the crime scene.
Hmm. Basically, because of the three terms individuality, permanency, and the practicality. Why individuality? Because it is not even same, exactly same in the twins also. And permanence because from the 6 month of the fetus to the throughout the life, it is completely same. It is completely unchanged, we can say. Practicality because we can identify it easily, capture it easily as compared to DNA. Because in DNA, we need more expenses, more chemical use, more expertise, laboratory, etc. But in fingerprints, we can easily analyze it. Are you agree with it?
Yes. Yes, ma'am.
Very good. Now the next thing about is the different type of patterns. Basically, we have the four type of patterns. What is it? Arc, loop, whorl, composites. As you can see, the arc up to the 5% of the population is found, which is subdivided into the plain and the tinted one. Next one is the loop, which is found in the 60 to 65% of the populations and is subdivided into the radial and the ulna. Next one is the whorl, which is found basically on the 30 to 35% of the populations. Next one is the composite. Composite is only found in only 1% of the populations. As all these categories are basically determined by the number of deltas and found within the patterns. Okay, so are you able to identify your own fingerprint?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. Okay, those I know. After the session, you can easily identify it. There are some characteristic features of a fingerprint. Basically, told you that all features are different due to which we can all identify a particular person. But there are some common characteristics which help us to identify the fingerprints, like a type line, pattern area, core, and delta. What is type line? Type line is basically this outer covering which enclose the pattern area. These two parallel lines enclose it. You can see my cursor.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, basically that determine the pattern area. We can see a boundary which start by these two parallel lines and which diverge and sub around the pattern area. Next is the pattern area. Pattern area is the inner part of the type line where the pattern forms like this, in which appear the ridges, core, delta, etc. It completely enclosed in the type lines. Next one is the core. Core actually is, it is approximately the central part. This one is the central part and the central portion, also known as the terminus. It is varies pattern to pattern. It can be one, two, or the three. As the delta, delta is when the ridges travel and bifurcate. Basically, two lines two ridges are parallelly travel and then bifurcate here. Divert. Yes.
Sorry to interrupt. The font is so much small now. Also, the font size is small.
Wait. Now
मैम लिटिल विजिबल. आप इसको प्रेजेंटेशन व्यू पे कर लीजिए ना, जूम प्रेजेंटेशन
actually it is
proper.
already in a slideshow. I think there is an error. Wait a second. Now it is visible.
Yes, ma'am.
कंटेंट थोड़ा नीचे चला गया.
Yeah, right now I'm showing you that thing, the delta.
Yes, ma'am. It is visible now.
And the ridge travel in the bifurcate these two arms and bifurcate, so the ridges and deviate. Then create their own interspace between them, where the delta form a triangular-like shape, like this one. Okay, due to delta, we can identify the different type of patterns like arc, loop, and the whirl. Basically, in arc, we don't have any delta. In loop, we have only one delta, and in a whirl, we have the two deltas, due to which we can identify the different type of patterns. Now we are going to the arc. Basically, arcs are divided into two, plain and the tinted one. It is the most simple and the type of fingerprint. In this two deltas, in this no delta is present basically. Plain arc. In this the arc is started from the left side and smoothly goes up and exits from the right side. It is like a wave-like patterns. There is no chord, no delta. Is a completely smooth pattern. Next is the tented arc. Tented arc is basically somehow complex as compared to the plain arc. Tented arc has a central rays that form an angle spike and upthrust as compared to the plain arc. And this is like the tent-like structure. As you can see, there is the right angle formed and it is more upthrust and more right angled as compared to the plain arc. This next one is the loop. Basically, we have the two loops, ulnar loop and radial loop. As you know about the ulnar and the radial, we have the two bones in our hand, humerus, ulnar, and the radial. Do you know about it?
Yes, ma'am.
And where is ulnar
Yes,
is
ma'am.
present?
Little finger.
Towards the little finger. And where is the radial?
Thumb finger.
Towards the thumb.
Towards his thumb.
Towards the thumb. Correct answer. Ulna is basically a type of fingerprint pattern where the ridges flow towards the little finger. That's why we call it the ulnar loop. And in the radial one, the flow is towards the radial, like a thumb towards. So we call it the radial loop. Completely this loop formation or this loop name is completely based on the bone's name, ulna and the radial bone. That's why we called it. Okay, as current radial, as we can see that in our right hand and the left hand, both are the opposite. So we identify it on the behalf of the little finger and the thumb. Okay. Next one is the whirl. Whirl, it is a pattern in which one or more ridges form a circle-like pattern around the core, and it has two deltas. It is a completely like a circuit form. This is the simplest form, only found in 30 to 35% of the people. Next one is the composite. Composite is what? Basically, composites, there is either four types: twin, central pocket, lateral, and the accidental. In a twin loop, in two loops are formed. What kind of it is? Anyone can tell me?
Double loop.
Double loop. This is the another name of the twin loop is a double loop in which two different loops are formed. It is a clearly consists of two well-defined loops or a one surrounding to the another. The ridges containing the point of core like this, and the containing and the point of the core is terminate towards the delta. One loop is there and the second loop is there. They both are overlapping to each other. And in the central pocket loop, basically in which most of the ridges take a form of a loop and one or more ridges recur around the core like this one. There's a centrally we have a wall-like structure and another one is a loop-like structure. They both combine to each other and form a central pocket loop there, like spiral-like structure. Next one is lateral pocket. Lateral pocket, there is also two loops are present. One is there and the second one is there. But there is a difference between the lateral pocket and the central pocket. What is the difference? Is there anyone who can tell me what is the difference between lateral pocket and the central pocket?
Number of deltas.
The world is in
Not
the center.
exactly.
In the central, ma'am, the world is in the center in central pocket and in lateral it is inside.
But your voice is not clear.
Ma'am, in central pocket, the world is in center and in lateral pocket, the world is inside.
Okay. And another one? Is there anyone else?
Ma'am, in lateral pocket loop, there is only loop pattern, whereas in central pocket loop, there is combined both word and loop patterns.
And what about the lateral one?
There are two loops overlapping. The first one is overlapping the other one, baby loop and the mother loop.
Right. Basically, in the central pocket loop, they both are overlapping to each other, but in the lateral pocket, it doesn't. In this, only the two loops as formed, but not overlap to each other. One loop serve as the side pocket of the another loop. So this forms a pocket-like structure here. Okay. Next one is the accidental. In this, basically two or more patterns which does not clearly fall under any category, but there is accidental because there are the lots of patterns which is not accurately identified. So we call it as the accidental pattern. But there is one more question in this. What is it? Like a central pocket loop and the world, both are likely to be same, but there is a little bit difference. What is the difference between them?
Two cores and one cores.
No, exactly. Both have the one core and two deltas.
In central pocket loop, the delta and core are on the same line.
No, exactly. Is there anyone else?
Ma'am, in central pocket loop, we can do ridge counting.
You can do risk counting in any kind of patterns.
Ma'am,
Yes. Try. No one is here to judge you. Central pocket loop has surrounded by loop and the whole pattern has spiral or circle. Gauri, not exactly.
मैम सेंट्रल पॉकेट लूप में जो पैटर्न होता है पैटर्न एरिया वो कट नहीं होता और वर्ल्ड में कट होता है एक इमेजिनरी लाइन जब ड्रॉ करते हैं तो
Yeah, correct.
Madam,
What's
central pocket loop contains both core and both a loop and a central wall, and ridges curve around the central pocket before exiting.
not, but the last girl who answered me is correct. ये उसने बिल्कुल सही बताया। जो हमारे इसके अंदर टू डेल्टास होते हैं, टू डेल्टा का जो हम इमेजिनरी लाइन ड्रॉ करेंगे वो चीज़ को कट करेगा और जिसमें कट नहीं करता, यही मेन इसका डिफरेंस रहता है। यहाँ पे तुम्हारी इमेजिनरी लाइंस रहती हैं, तो डेल्टास के पीछे आप ड्रॉ करेंगे दिस, तो यहाँ पे जो आपकी पैटर्न लाइन रहेगी वो उसको ये कट करेगा. बेसिकली वी कैन से द टाइप लाइन ऑफ द वर्ल्ड, सो इट विल कट इट डाउन. So we can differentiate between whorl and the central pocket loop.
Yes, ma'am.
Next one is minutia. As we have only the 4 type of patterns and there is some subdivisions, but on the behalf of that we can't identify the different type of patterns or identify the individualization of persons. So on the behalf of minutia, minute characteristics, we can differentiate between different patterns. Okay, so minutia basically are unique characteristics and it will generate according to your genetics. It will can't be seen as per the twins also. There are some unique characters like ridge ending, bifurcation, dot, island, lake, hook, bridge, double bifurcation, trifurcation, oops, ridge crossing, opposed bifurcation, endings. These are the different type of minutia characteristics which are found in different people. Like you can also see there. This one is bifurcation, this one is enclosure, and there is a bifurcation also. This one is the dot, and there is a ridge ending, like it will not move on. So this is the ending, particular ending of this ridge. So they are the different minutia pattern, which is very important in any kind of fingerprint identification. You have to know about. There are actually lots of minutia patterns, but this is only on like slow down. बहुत कम के लिए, क्योंकि हमारे पास टाइम नहीं है इसलिए मैंने बहुत कम ऐड ऑन किया है यहाँ पे. After that, we have the type of fingerprints found in crime scenes, latent, patent, and the plastic one. What is latent fingerprints?
Now, which can't be visible through naked eyes.
Hidden fingerprints.
Hidden fingerprints, which is not visible by the naked eye. And what is the patent fingerprint?
which are visible through naked.
It is visible.
Like जो criminal है उसके हाथ में
Visible to eyes.
मार्का लगना है.
Which is visible by the naked eye, but not the 3D fingerprint, like you have a sweating or smeared fingers on a blood, oil, or any type of greasy cheese. उसके अंदर क्या होगा, visible रहेगा. What about the plastic one?
A fingerprint that has been molded.
3D prints.
That has been molded, correct thing, which has been molded on a we can say the clay or any soap, any kind of this thing. We can say the plastic one, which we don't need to develop. But the visible fingerprints, we just need it to collect it. And in the latent fingerprint, we have to firstly develop it, then the collection and packaging further move on. Further process, we will proceed, right? So how we develop the latent fingerprints?
Chemically and physically.
Chemically and physical methods.
Chemical and physical methods, right? And what about your own fingerprints? How you will collect it?
Tape lifting method.
Tape lifting method.
And by powder method, powder using fingerprint powders.
No, I'm talking about your own fingerprints. You just want to take it. No need to develop it.
Ink and paper.
Not latent. Ink and paper, right? And another thing,
Scanner by scanner.
right? Basically, we use the 2 type of methods for this. What is it? The plain method. Plain method in this, basically we take a ink and take paper, then we
Roll and plane.
the ink on it. Yeah, roll out method. Correct. Then engulch the paper and the impression we have. Second is the rolled method, where we use actually the roll methods.
While taking
One
the
side to another side.
fingerprint of victims or suspects for comparison.
Comparison in which sense? Like in which agency or which, for which purposes we use it?
For record, just like NCRB and other agencies and organizations.
For personal identification.
For AIFS.
For AIFS, we take the roll method.
Mostly for police
Did you?
verification purposes, ma'am. In case of any passport verifications.
Is it? In law enforcement agencies for the culprit one. For a complete identification of a person. Right? We also
Yes,
take the footprints. Why we take the footprints?
They are also unique.
For which purpose? Do you know
For
about the
personal
gesture
identification.
identification?
Ma'am, for stature identification of criminal.
For what?
Ma'am, through fingerprints we can estimate the weight and height of a criminal.
So the footprint.
Yes, ma'am. So footprints, yeah.
Right. We can identify gender also, male, female, weight identification, the gesture, position, everything we can identify with the help of footprints also. As a fingerprint is unique, but footprints sometimes not unique. Why? There are some drawbacks also. How? What are the drawbacks in footprints?
Ma'am, by the help of alone footprint evidence, we cannot predict anything. It can be used as a corroborative evidence.
Yes, there are the corroborative evidences. But what are the drawbacks?
Shoes and the other slippers and like things.
How?
I guess
Can
for
I
the
wear
fingerprints we
someone
have the
else's shoes?
database. For
Can I
footprints,
wear
I guess we
someone
don't
else?
have any database as of now. And
Yeah, we don't have a particular data regarding this, but when I want to do crime, so I can wear someone else's shoes. And is it very easy? Is it or not?
yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, madam.
But how you can conclude that these are my own shoes or not? There are some factors which conclude that. You all are forensic students?
yes, ma'am. Based upon class characteristics and individual characteristics of a footwear.
It also depends on the
Ma'am,
print,
irregular gets
weight.
cycles pattern and the other.
It will change my gesture and it will also upon the weight. As I am using my own footwears, then the weight is different as compared to I will wear someone else footwears, right?
But ma'am, shoe print and footprint are different.
Shoe print or footprints are different, but still I am asking about the shoe prints. That if I am wore someone else's shoes, then what?
The pressure is different, madam. Depends on the weight of the person.
Correct thing. What's your name?
I am Dr. Arthur, madam.
Dr. Artin, bilkul correct, sir. Right.
Thank you, madam.
Yeah. Next thing is about the latent fingerprints method development. How we can develop it with the help of the powder method. So we have the multiple type of powders which we can use to develop the fingerprints. As the different powders we have, the gray, black, fluorescent, magnetic, etc. So how we can choose the which powder or choose which powder we will going to use for the different type of material or the surfaces. How we will decide it?
It depends on the texture and the color of the surface.
Ma'am, it should be contrast to the color of the surface.
Contrast of the surfaces.
Basically,
Right.
type of surface, ma'am. Porous, non-porous,
Ma'am,
semi-porous.
porous, non-porous, and semi-porous.
Porous and non-porous surfaces, how they will affect your fingerprints?
powder method is best suited for non-porous surfaces.
Hmm. Is there any effect of porous or non-porous surfaces on a complete fingerprint?
Yes, ma'am.
What is it?
Ma'am, the amino acids and nutrients can be transported.
Porous surface absorb acids and nutrients of
Correct. Basically, we don't have complete fingerprint, so you can't calculate the ridges or can't analyze the complete fingerprint, so you can't even identify a person in a non-porous surfaces. And in a porous, you have a complete and individuals. Second, you can easily identify the individuals persons. Next one is the gray and the black powder, fluorescent powders, and the magnetic powder, where you can use the magnetic powders. And is it better than the black powder? You can answer this question. Is
Some
black
magnetic powder is suitable for delicate areas and it requires separate brush and developing technique.
okay? And what about the black powder?
Ma'am, it can be used for lighter surfaces.
Lighter surfaces, right? And what about the gray one?
Ma'am, it is versatile for both light or dark surfaces. It depends upon the investigator.
Right, it completely depends on your surface areas, as you can decide on the behalf of your surface that it is dark, light, or like fluorescent, contrast, multicolored, or a complete shiny surfaces, plastic surfaces, or any type of container, magnetic ones. So on the behalf of your surfaces, you can choose which kind of powder you are going to be used. And after this one is only a preliminary test. After that, you are also going to be the confirmatory, like if you can't develop it with the help of these patterns, then you can also go for the chemical test, like silver nitrate, ninhydrine, etc. You can also use this. As you can know that you can also develop their own like powders, and you can take a copyright on this. How many of you such have the copyrights on this? Do you know about the copyright? Is there anyone who have copyright? No one?
No, ma'am.
Okay, basically, in my college, we have a TDP projects, transdisciplinary projects. So some of the 5 students of the different departments come to me and they work together. When they will develop a particular, so they can they develop like a any kind of powder, like sugar cane powder or any dung bun, um, like what? Hmm, I will share you a thing. मेरी एक स्टूडेंट है जिसने अभी अभी एक पाउडर डेवलप किया था बेसिकली विद द हेल्प ऑफ ऐश एंड दे गेट a copyright on it. So you can also do a kind of things if you can do properly. They can also make a different type of brush. As you know that we are using the ostrich brush, which is as a cost effective, so we can develop another thing, like any another brush or any other which helpful to develop a fingerprints. So you can also do. Anyone have idea regarding this? Aditya is here. Is there anyone who has some ideas? copyright is any work which you can take your own mind. Like अगर आपने कुछ भी अपने आप से डेवलप किया है जिसको आप कॉपीराइट करना चाहते हो, आप चाहते हो इन फ्यूचर आप उसको यूज करो या फिर इन फ्यूचर आप उसके ऊपर अपनी कंपनी करना चाहते, कोई स्टार्टअप करना चाहते हैं, किसी आप कॉपीराइट ले सके, you can easily do it. Yes, you have any idea?
Can you explain in English?
What?
Can you explain in English?
Yeah, sure.
Thank you, ma'am.
Basically, I'm talking about the copyright, which is completely based on your idea. If you have any kind of idea which you want to start as a startup and you want to sell it out to any company or anything, so you can gain you can easily gain a profit with the help of this. But you have your own idea, you can't take it from the another one. Like you can develop your own powder, but you can't use a black powder, you will add green black powder add on and then say like this is one is the new one. No, you have to develop your own particular idea which is not earlier used, so you can take it your copyright, and you can also do a patent on it, and you can start your own startup. If anyone is interested for this, then you can contact to me, and it is very necessary for you if you are doing a research work or you want to do any lab work or you want to go in any teaching or any research laboratory work, R&D, etc. So you have to know about the copyright and the patent, and you also need to file it. It will prioritize your when you will go to an interview, then it will give you priority. So if there's anyone who want to talk about it, you can contact me personally. Now, there's any question regarding this?
Sure.
Yes. There's someone who was talking. If you have any query, then please. Patents are the governmental and non-governmental ownership, and copyright basically owned while in the authors and etc. Yes, patents are the governmental, non-governmental is not. You have to take a government authorship about it. Then you will start your own startups. But your loop is basically what? In this, wait. These are the loop in which we have the two radial is on your ulnar bone and the radial is on your radial bone, which is present on your hand. The radial bone is completely based on your bones, as in the left and the right both are the overlapping to each other, so it is completely different. And what about the arch? Arch is the most simplest form of the fingerprint. Starts from the left side and smoothly move towards the right side, and it is only a wave-like structures. There is no core, no delta. In a dented one, it is as more upthrust and more spike as compared to the arc one. Okay, and the last one is the whorl. Whorl is what? Whorl is basically a circle-like structure in which a core is present in the center and have the two deltas. In a loop, we have only one delta. Arc, if we don't have any kind of deltas, and wall, if we have two deltas. So there is a main difference is based on the deltas and the pattern. In arc, we have a wave-like structure. Loop, we have a loop formations. And in a wall, we have a circle and a symmetric-like structures. Basically, there is a center where is the freely ridges are moved towards and enclose the core. So we can say that this one is the wall pattern. मैम एंटोमोलॉजिकल स्टडीज में एंड न्यू फीचर्स और इंसेक्ट के लिए कॉपीराइट करवाना है, हाउ टू कॉन्टेक्ट यू मैम? आई विल गिव यू मेल like anu.hudda@viju.ac.in. You can contact to it. You can send me a mail. I will add it like, wait, anu. You can contact me on my mail. And if you want to know more about it, then you can also contact me on WhatsApp. I will send you a number. Anyone else? What is the difference between DNA fingerprinting and the fingerprinting? So basically, fingerprinting is analyzing a unique patterns, basically found on the individual's fingertips or use of physical fingerprint impressions. And the talking about the DNA fingerprint, then DNA fingerprint analyzes a unique DNA patterns. Basically, use the DNA samples, blood, saliva, tissues, and it completely provides us information about the genetic identity. But in a fingerprinting, we don't have the information about the genetics, because it don't any kind of relation between the genetics and this. Yes, Nisha, we can say that two latent prints, if found in the same area, then it is a partial fingerprints. We can develop it, but we have to use techniques for it. We can't develop it with the help of physical or chemical method. For this, we have to go the further on the techniques, like a scanner, FS, or live scanners. Then we can, like not completely, but we can develop the fingerprints. And then we can identify a person also. What techniques currently used, like fingerprint scanner, FS, live scanner, optical fingerprint reader we can use, and one more thing is capacitive and fingerprint readers we can also use for it. Anything else? Job opportunities for this field. We have the lots of job opportunities. Like you can go for the forensic lab, and if you are particularly thinking about the forensics, then we have the lots of opportunities. Like you can go in teaching, then you can go for the forensics lab, you can go for the CBI, and you can go for Interpol also. You can go for army, you can go for the mortuaries. We have also vacancies in every police stations. We have lots of opportunities regarding this. Even now, the researchers also, you can also make a researcher. So we have, if you can try, then you can go. If you are hardworking. Actually, Lucky, right now we are not using the silver nitrate method. Yes, you can. Yes, right. Lucky. Yes, we can get the job in police stations also, as you can talk about the Amit Shah. If you hear about it, then he announced the each and every police stations now a single vacancy, only a single vacancy for a forensic scientist also. After signing the particular report by the forensic scientist, it will move forward. Then the forensic laboratory. Then we have a vacancy there also. So right now we have some other vacancies also for the crime scene unit, crime scene mobile unit. For this, currently 20,000 vacancies are there. For this, only the behalf of the interview. If you are MSc Forensic Science, then you can apply for it. You conduct more sessions like especially on the thanatology. Yeah, sure, we will conduct in future also. And if you're talking about thanatology, then we will also do it. I have done PG diploma in fingerprint science. And please tell me about the career and job. Actually, Shanka, I don't know about the diploma course in forensic science. And if you're talking about a fingerprint, then actually in fingerprint you can apply for the CFSL, because still we have the vacancies there. So you can apply there. CFSL Delhi. Right now there are lots of vacancies on the behalf of fingerprint. You can search. Sapnir, it will already happened. You have to go through with the new notifications. Thanatology is not as much complicated. It will so easy. Best domain in masters is only cyber and DNA, as according to me. Thank you so much, Sapnil. Okay, thank you so much, everyone.
Ma'am, are we continuing?
Yes, Prachi?
Are we
No,
continuing the
Prachi, it's
session?
over.
Okay. So a big thank you to all our participants for being such an engaging and curious audience. Your presence makes session worthwhile. So a warm thank you to our speaker for generously sharing her time, experience, and knowledge with us. Your presence today has truly enriched the session and inspired us all. Once again, thank you everyone for joining us. Stay connected, stay curious, most importantly, stay inspired. Thank you so much, everyone.